Next is Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Mancalso. I probably didn't say that right. But this is the first book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper trilogy. This is about a Victorian lady named Aubrey who is everything a Victorian lady should be, except she has a fascination with forensic science, which back in this time, which I believe was the 1800s or so, is a no-no. She is mentored by her uncle, who is a mortician, and she ends up stumbling across the case of Jack the Ripper, and I don't need to hear anything else more than that. I've never read a Jack the Ripper story, and it sounds really interesting. And I've already heard the title of the second book, and that has sold me by itself. But I've also heard people really love this one, and it's really short, so I should be able to blow through this in like a few days. Less than that, actually, probably. With my schedule now, it's probably a few days. I could probably blow through this in one day with my old schedule. But it sounds interesting, and I've heard it's gory, and it's not my usual kind of book because it is a suspenseful horror, and I've never read a horror, so that has me even more excited. Next I have Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This is the first book in the Caraval duology, and it is about this carnival that only shows up once every year, and it never shows up in the same place twice, and is like the only way to get in is to get a ticket. So this girl's sister writes Caraval saying how much her sister would love to come, and she manages to get 3 tickets. Her sister, and some stranger along the way supposedly go to this carnival, and while they're there, her sister suddenly disappears, and she has 3 nights to find her sister before she is gone forever. Kind of reminds me of the Night Circus, but also a little bit different, and I am looking forward to getting into this. I've heard this one is absolutely fantastic and will leave you breathless at the end. And that's the end of that box. Now to the manila envelopes. First manila envelope. Next is The Wolf Bride by Elizabeth Moss. This is the first book in the Lust of the Tudor Courts trilogy, and from the reviews, it is said to be a mix of 50 Shades of Grey and The Tudors. Absolutely love both those things, and so I am really looking forward to reading into this book. I've actually already started it. I think I got about 40 pages in, and then I had to stop. Next is That Fatal Kiss by Mina Lobo. This is another Hades and Persephone retelling. This one is, instead of Hades either seducing Persephone himself to the underworld or being engaged to her beforehand, he conspires with Zeus, maybe Persephone's father. Usually in stories, Zeus is Persephone's father / uncle. The gods were very incestuous, so it's hard to keep the story straight. But supposedly he's not her father in this one, and he conspires with Zeus to kidnap Persephone to the underworld to be his mate. Persephone herself also wanting to get away from her mother. I imagine when she gets kidnapped or whatever is going to be pretty pissed off at what he did. But I am looking forward to this one, and again, I will probably hold off on this one for a while because I don't want to read all my Hades Persephone books in one go. Next I have Seeds Volume 2, the sequel to Seeds Volume 1. This is the second book in the Seeds trilogy, and I haven't read anything on this one. I haven't even read the back of it or what it's about. As soon as I finish this one, I ordered this one. Next one, this one I've actually opened, so... Next I have This Side of the Grave. This is the 5th book in the Night Hunter series by Janine Frost. As I said before, this is about a kick-ass half-vampire huntress named Kat and her lover Bones. And I'm trying to collect all the books in this series because I've read it and I love it. Next I have A Promise of Fire by Amanda Burkett. This is the first book in the King Chronicles. This is about a character named Kat who is a soothsayer known as the Kingmaker, and she is finally able to escape to where no one knows who she is, and is traveling with a circus until a warlord named Griffin finds her and knows who she is and kidnaps her so that he can use her as a weapon. And that's all I know about it. And she's plus size. That's very rare in YA or fantasy. You don't really see plus size main characters. So I am looking forward to this one. And last but not least, I went to Barnes & Noble. Yeah, I did that. First, let's start with the small bag. Next is The Fate of the Flames by Sarah Ruggeli. I probably butchered that. This is the first book in the effigy duology. Let's start with the back. The back is what kind of caught my attention. Technically, this is what I've always wanted. To fight as like one of them. To save lives like one of them. And now I am one of them. An effigy. Careful what you wish for, I guess. This is about a character named Mia who lives in this world where these things called phantoms come out of the ground and kill people. Kind of sounds like Final Fantasy to me, but then there are these beings called effigies, which kind of are like Sailor Scouts. Each one of them controls an element: air, fire, water, and earth. And suddenly the fire effigy dies and the power transfers to Mia. So she is now to be trained to be an effigy, and she's the fire effigy, and fire is supposedly the most unstable one of their powers, so she's got some learning to do ahead of her. The review I read on this is a mix between Pacific Rim and Sailor Moon, and I absolutely loved Sailor Moon when I was a kid. And as I said, I wanted to get into elementals, and that is because I wanted to find a book kind of like Sailor Moon, and I found one. And since I have heard absolutely nothing on this book, I haven't been spoiled for anything. I know nothing about it that is not in the summary. And I am so excited. And the last bag. Next is Bone Witch, author of The Girl in the Well. I've heard of The Girl in the Well, never wanted to read it. I'm not really into horror except for, well, Stalking Jack the Ripper. I'm giving that one a try. Honestly, can't think of a way to summarize what this book is about, so I'm just going to read the summary inside. Tia is different from the other witches in her family. Her gift for necromancy makes her a bone witch, which are feared in this kingdom. For there is a powerful elemental magic that can reach beyond the barriers of the living and the humans. Great power comes with a great price, forcing Tia to leave her homeland and train under the guidance of an older, wiser bone witch. There, Tia puts all her energy into becoming an Asha, learning to control her elemental magic and those beasts who will submit by no other force. And Tia must be strong, stronger than she ever believed possible, because a war is brewing in the 8 kingdoms, a threat that will threaten her homeland and threaten the very survival of those she loves. And it sounds really interesting. I've been wanting to get back into witches, and this one sounds absolutely fascinating. And the last book in the bag is The Call by Pindra O'Golan? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I believe this is actually 2 people writing one book. I'm not completely sure though. This is about Scotland or Ireland, one of those places being cut off from the rest of the world. People cannot leave and people cannot enter. And if you are in your teens, there is this thing called the call, where this certain time of the year you will just disappear. In our world, it's supposedly only about 3 minutes, but for the people who disappear, it is supposedly days, maybe even months. And you are taken to this fairyland where you are hunted by the fae. If you die there, then you die, and if you manage to survive these days, then you are able to go home. And the inside flap is kind of what caught my attention. 3 minutes. You wake up alone. A horrible land. A horn sounds. The call has begun. 2 minutes. The Sheed are close. They are the most powerful, most terrible people you've ever seen, and they've seen you. 1 minute. Nesta will be called soon. No one thinks she has the chance to survive, but she's determined to prove them wrong. Time's up. Can you survive the call? And it sounds absolutely fascinating, and it's really tiny and really short, and I'm probably going to blow through this. Christine at Poland Bananas Books seemed to love this, and she and I agree on a lot of books, and so I decided to pick this one up. And that is my collective book haul, and I'm not going to bother trying to hold up all these dang books because I know I'm not going to be able to do it. But I'll try something. It's probably not going to make it in here though. Well, that is my collective book haul, and I will see you guys next time.